What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got a nice competitive duel for you guys to check out. Two decks that I think are definitely legitimate, probably like tier 2-ish level, and they're decks that I've got a decent amount of respect for, although I will preface this video by saying these builds are definitely outside of the box. So, these are not like the 100% standard builds of Cosmo and DDD. I mean, you can kind of just look at the opening hands and know that. I mean, you see Psyframe, Gamma, or in the opening hand of the DDD player, and it's like, what's that about? And you see Forbidden Apocryphal right here in the opening hand of the Cosmo player. I actually think Forbidden Apocryphal is not actually that bad. It's not even that terrible of a main deck call, and if you're facing a lot of Zodiac, it actually can be something that you might even just want a main deck. So I can't actually say that that's bad tech. But anyways, this was definitely a good duel with some back and forth. So let's go ahead and roll this. I believe that DDD are up first. I could be mistaken, but I think I'm not. All right, so DDD are up first, and my thing with DDD is I think if you're going first and you're not facing off against any hand traps or things of that nature, you definitely want to put, I would say, at least a minimum of like 2 big stun monsters on the board, because DDD, it's not a deck known for like running a bunch of traps. It does have Contract of the Witch, which is kind of a play disrupting card, but he makes a decent field. I would say decent at best, because he does get Titanic Galaxy. It would have been obviously a lot better if he could have gotten either Crystal Wing, Synchro Dragon, maybe Omega, or Siegfried makes any board better. But let's go ahead and roll this. And it's actually interesting because Cosmo player only started with 1 spell, but he kind of throws his spell away, and he makes a really big misplay here. Okay, so he attacks with Forerunner, right? And I think that he forgot about Titanic Galaxy's effect to make it, or to make your opponent's monsters switch their attacks to it. So, he ends up trying to run into Joan of Arc thinking, okay, they'll both die. My Forerunner will activate in the graveyard. Maybe I can get a Slip Rider. And I think he just ended up forgetting that Titanic Galaxy could make the Forerunner attack it. So he kind of gets wrecked there. He is going to get a tin can, and he gets a Cosmo Town, which again could possibly get eaten up by Titanic Galaxy. And he uses Breakthrough Skill on Joan, which I think is okay. It's just, I guess, so that he doesn't get the life points, but unfortunately he turns that into a Siegfried. Now here's a pause, and I think this was a massive misplay. You have Titanic Galaxy on the field, and you have Siegfried. Why didn't he attack and try to attack into the tin can? I mean, he has 2 back row, I get that, but you do have Siegfried. I mean, if he has a Mirror Force or something, you could just negate it. So I think that was kind of a slip up by the DDD player, and maybe he doesn't realize that tin can activates during both players' turns. So yeah, he ends up getting a Sword Trooper because of that, basically for free, and now he's going to use both Breakthrough Skills, which means he's not able to use this. He's not able to use the Cosmo Town. He's able to summon Dark Lady from the Sword Trooper, and he's able to actually summon back the Forerunner and basically do the play that he tried to do last turn, which was crash it into a 2800 monster, then bring out Slip Rider. Now, he isn't able to fully capitalize off that. Let me just pause for a second. Maybe you could say that he could have went into a rank 5 there, but actually, I think I would have. Oh, no, he's not playing an extra deck for some reason. What the Kappa? I have no idea. I didn't even realize that until just this second, that he's not playing an extra deck, because I was thinking you could have went for like a Volcasaurus or something like that and just blown up the Titanic Galaxy, and that might have gotten you home, but whatever. He doesn't have an extra deck. Now he does do Max C here, and I think I would have stopped, but he actually uses Forbidden Apocryphal and he calls Fusions, and he gets both of them off the field. And I was like, wow, that card that I didn't actually think was going to do anything actually just put in a ton of work here. Now the cards he's drawing off of Max C, at first I was like, man, I don't really think these are necessarily good cards, because he drew all spells against Titanic Galaxy, which is not very good. But then he drew like MST and Set Rotation, and I was like, I don't really think that those help you kill the Titanic Galaxy, but let's see what happens here. Uses Breakthrough Skill, and he's actually going to MST his own Cosmo Town, which obviously can get him a monster. I thought he was gonna go for Dart Destroyer, but he goes for Good Witch, which it actually does make sense. You can put the Titanic Galaxy face down, which I believe he's going to do, and then he's gonna go into Forerunner. So I was like, okay, that's definitely a good play. In fact, we haven't even seen Dart Destroyer in this duel, and he doesn't search it either. He searches another copy of Forerunner. This guy really likes his Forerunners, and I think that's what the 4th time Forerunner has been summoned this duel. And I believe DDD player is going to fight back with Bills, which Obviously, it's pretty strong against Cosmo. They have a serious problem trying to get over, or a serious hard time trying to get over that card. Dart Destroyer can't kill it. You know, if they trying to attack into it with bigger monsters, obviously they just gain. But he's actually gaining a lot of life points back with double Forerunner, which I thought might swing the game. And I was like, man, double Forerunner is looking pretty good. If you guys are wondering what this set spell and trap is, I believe it's Fire King Island. So now he's kind of sitting on bills, and I believe he's going to try to fusion again. He basically just needs to get the Forerunners off the field. He goes for a Synchro Monster, and ain't that just the worst guy? He gets eaten up by another Forbidden Apocrypher, and now it's like, this card shouldn't have done anything in this match, and it is straight up dominating, and it's actually pretty crazy. I just wouldn't have thought that such a card being teched in your deck would work against DDD, and it ends up basically winning him the duel. So just a nice little interesting duel, guys. Definitely a card to look out for at Nationals. Well, I don't know, maybe it depends on how much you expect to see True Dracos and whatnot, because when people were just kind of playing like XC-based decks like Paleo Frogs and Zodiac, when those were kind of like the top two dogs in the format, Forbidden Apocrypha was seeing a lot of play, but you know, I think that True Dracos kind of you know, kind of killed that. So anyways, just a nice little duel I want you guys to check out. Thank you guys for watching. As always, let me know what you thought in the comment section below, and subscribe if you have not already.